Hello ladies and gentlemen. Most of you I think will know me as Richard the Dick Coughlan. If you are, however, somebody who's never seen me before, this is the first time you're watching me, can I suggest you stop watching this video and go watch something else I've done? Because you might not get the best impression of me from this one. I've kind of been going through the last probably the last 5-6 months, since last year, I've gone through a bit of a transitional phase. Not just on YouTube, but in my life in general, and I've kind of been, unnoticingly, subconsciously, I started shaking things off that I had been carrying for too long, and I needed to move on from. Like back in November, I stopped doing videos about the EDL. I had to mention them recently, obviously, but I stopped doing videos about the EDL because I didn't need to carry that with me anymore. I stopped doing videos in December about Pat Condell, and that was a wonderful relief. And based on his last video, good move. And over the course of time, I haven't made many videos, and I think it's because I've been trying to find my new sort of direction, where I'm going and what I want to be. In order for me to do that a little bit more, I have to do something, again, that sheds off a little bit of a burden. And this is going to be one of those videos where I might be a little bit more calmer, and I might seem a little bit, just upbeat and relaxed at the moment, but I will gradually, the rage train is heading down to Rant Town right now. So this has been building up in me for fucking ages. I've not bothered with it because I didn't think it was worth it, and I just didn't really care enough. And then it carries on and carries on, and because of the last two videos I've made, the one to Thunderfoot and the one yesterday about Lee Rigby's murder, I've been exposed once again to that thing that reminded me of what I fucking hate about this website in particular. And these are the people I'm going to address. And this is going to be a bit of an audience refining video, possibly. Some of you are going to like this, some of you are going to fucking hate my guts. That's okay, turn around and fuck off. To the atheists on this website, particularly, who are part of the sort of hardcore, militant, atheist sort of, and who think of themselves as a movement. We used to call ourselves on here the atheist community. However, based on the fact that we've now all sort of split off into different groups and we all hate each other's fucking guts because we realised what a bunch of cunts we all were when we finally started talking to each other, we've now stopped using the word community. And to be fair, it was doomed from the start, wasn't it? Let's be honest, atheism isn't a thing. You can't form a community based on a fucking thing that isn't there. Right? And when he started on YouTube, when I started 5 years ago, I've been here 5 years, right? 5 fucking years. So please, before you sort of sit there and try and throw over your textbook fucking like, oh god, atheism's not a religion, just shut up for 5 fucking minutes and listen, right? Listen to a fucking, listen to a veteran around here. Right? When I came here 5 years ago, there was an atheist community. You did feel that. You felt that there was a togetherness with atheists, and we were all sort of, just having a good time. It was a bit of a phenomenon because YouTube was here, and suddenly, people who were atheists who weren't known who were closet atheists, they didn't believe in closets, right? They were making videos where they came out and said, I'm an atheist, and they finally talked about it. Then that sort of carried on, and then we sort of went, yeah. And then the reason we felt a sense of community and togetherness was not because of atheism. You can't sit there and go, oh, we all don't believe in God, isn't that wonderful? Jeffrey Dahmer didn't believe in God, nor did Joseph Stalin. I don't consider those two guys I want to hang around with and have a fucking steak and a Coca-Cola with. The atheist community, there's a certain buzz, but what happens, there are lots of theists around, and that's the failing of the atheist movement. Is atheism depends on the existence of theism in order for it to stay relevant. And because atheists became so overwhelming, all of the theists here on YouTube who made videos fucked off. Fuckity fucked right off. And they went away, and we were left with no one. What do we do? So we started discussing things amongst ourselves, because that seemed the most logical thing to do, because that is the problem with an atheist movement. You have to fucking talk about what you do believe. And one thing that is still consistently a belief that is held by so many of you weary, limp-wristed, limp-dicked fucking wankers who leave comments on my videos when I make a video of Thunderfoot or Condell or a video about Dawkins or Sam fucking Harris, you fuckers who go, like, someone said it on my Thunderfoot video and I nearly cried. They go, can't we stop all this infighting and just go back to poning creationists? Like, you know what? Fuck poning creationists. Creationists are the lowest hanging fucking fruit on this fucking earth, right? If you think that poning creationists is in any way productive or valuable, you might as well go around and bitch slap a toddler, right? They're fucking morons. I could do it. I ain't got no scientific training. It's useful, it's valuable, and I respect a lot of people who've done it. Don't sit there going, oh, we need to pwn creationists. Fuck off creationists, right? They're not the massive biggest problem around here. If you're here because you want to see people like myself who are not completely fucking mentally disabled, who haven't been fucking forced to believe utter unmitigated horseshit, bang, slapping around some poor little 14-year-old who hasn't had a fucking chance in life because his parents were related before they were fucking married, and now he's, you know, he's being taught about Noah's Ark and shit. If you think that's fucking worthwhile, then you're clearly not interested in any movement of atheism. Because there's to have a movement, right, and this is something that you need to understand. To have a movement, you have to fucking move. I know we've had things like the Reason Rally, and there are organisations like those fucking American Atheists who, you know, deal with really, like, really fucking, you know, serious problems, like, you know, like that, you know, that Ground Zero cross. Oh no, 2 bits of metal have formed a crucifix, and Christians are standing there looking at it going, well, this is clearly an outrage. Right? Yeah, that's a fucking cause I can get behind. There's a group I want to fucking waste my time on, and you've got these other groups who sort of like have these little conferences, as Thunderfoot calls them, you know, rape parties. But for the most part, atheist movement is on the internet, and no movement is on the internet. The suffragettes were a movement, risking their lives for serious issues. The civil rights movement was a movement, right? The gay rights movement, right? The, you know, sort of end of war movement, right? The fucking environmentalist movement. These are movements, right? The atheist movement is a bunch of fucking little wankers on the internet who have the sort of terminal Dunning-Kruger effect going through them and need something to make them feel important. So they come on like, oh look, everyone's an atheist. Hi everybody, what's that? Logic, reason, skepticism. Oh yes, I'm all on board now. Free thinker, I'm a free thinker too. What do you know? Hello sir. And you sit there patting yourselves on the fucking back and you think this is somehow making you a better person. This idea that a lot of atheists have, where you think that being an atheist is like a badge of honour, that you can flaunt around and you can walk into a room and just like look at a bunch of theists and go, oh, you believe in God, how very gosh, please tell me how he's getting on. You are not a special little snowflake just because you don't happen to believe in God. You're not, right? And you are not automatically more likely to be fucking clever. In fact, I will say this now, considering the majority of the atheists on YouTube are going to be people who watch the top 3 most subscribed atheists, being Condell, the amazing atheist, and Thunderfart. Those fucking, if I read your comment sections, I'm telling you now, you lot are fucking not exactly the Bilderberg group of intellectual elitism. I'm just saying, Mensa are not looking at those comment sections and going, we need to phone up these cunts. And the sad thing is, these things like, people call themselves, I'm a skeptic. Oh, are you really? How lovely. What else are you? I'm a free thinker. Right. I am a rationalist. Well, aren't we all wonderful? Right. How does you people who use those titles, free thinker, rationalist, skeptic, where did you get those titles from? Oh yeah, you gave them to yourself because you decided that they were good titles to describe you. Even though a free thinker could not possibly know whether or not he is a free thinker or not. Have you noticed how fundamentalist religious fucktards all think they're fucking, they're all rational and sane? Who are you to tell them otherwise? You walk around going, I am a rationalist. Oh really? Well, whoop-de-fucking-do. Big hairy lesbian mammoth bollocks to you, sir. What do you want, a biscuit? You've given yourself a name to make you sound like you're fucking important or something. And that's why the atheist community crumbled. It became apparent that to sort of people on here who were making the most popular videos were the guys making the most simple, boiled down, reduced, black and white, easy to swallow, vanilla flavoured beige diarrhea that could be fed to the proles to make them feel good. Just because you say logic, reason, rationality, science and education for the win. These are just catchphrases to most of the people on here, and I'm including the video makers on here, who make their little logos out of these words, and then proceed to make videos where they manage to display absolutely fuck all evidence that they understand it. Yeah. Just think, don't run on automatic. No, let's just fucking stop with it. I've been using a catchphrase myself at the end of my videos. May God be less. I thought of it years ago and apparently people liked it, so it stuck. And now I'm considering today, this will be the last video I ever use it. Because I don't think I can get behind this anymore. You know, I have spent the last 3 or 4 years being the most prominent atheist on YouTube, who has had to see and hear and be told about how dubious and suspicious my actual atheism is, because I make so many videos in which I defend people who have a religious belief. It could be a Jew who I'm making fun of the Nazis about. They could be a Muslim. When I do this, a lot of atheists, a large number of atheists, they have this big fucking confusion. Their brain doesn't function, does not fucking compute. They can't get their head, but this guy doesn't believe in God, and yet he is making a video in which he is attempting to defend against what he says is an unwarranted attack against a person who believes in God. How on earth is that? What planet does that make sense, right? The same planet where a heterosexual, yes I am, fuck you, right? A heterosexual can make a lot of videos defending gay people against the attacks of hateful, bigoted, closeted dick suckers, and it's not a problem. It doesn't matter that I am not a gay myself. No one ever questions it. It's the same way I could defend a woman against a sexist attack if I felt like it, even though I've got a knob. Right, or a mangina, and I'm proud of it. It's the same way I can constantly defend ethnic minorities against racist attacks, even though I'm the whitest man on planet Earth. In fact, I'm so white I'm turning brown. Why is none of that fucking weird to you? Okay, on YouTube, when you say you don't believe in God, you are, against your will, forced into this fucking, toxic little pit of fucking miserable vipers who have decided that you are now part of this cult that are going to walk around, and you have to. There are certain things you shouldn't be doing. You shouldn't be disagreeing with other atheists. That's ridiculous. Why would we do that? You lot can fucking sit there and pull the fucking wool over your eyes all you want. I've watched you do it for years, right? I make a 17-minute video ripping Pat Condell's bullshit apart, leaving people, any sane person would watch and go, there is no reasonable doubt here. And you go, why are you going after Pat Condell? Just fucking deal with it, would you? Stop whining about people disagreeing, right? How the fuck are you going to sit there? You sit there and go, death to religion, religion is evil, we must destroy religion. And then when two atheists on YouTube have an argument, you go, oh please don't fight, I can't take it anymore. You're a fucking bunch of whinging little prats, fucking grow up. You're not a movement, you are not on the intellectual fucking food chain, like at the top, you're not there. Stephen Hawkins will not be inviting you round to play croquet. Right, which he can play if you just gaffer tape the fucking stick to his chair. And yesterday, I made a video. I got a comment. And in this comment, the guy unintentionally manages to effortlessly convey almost every little fucking thing that pisses me off and that fucking makes me want to fucking puke when anyone talks about me in terms of an atheist movement. I feel I've developed a bit of a little bit of an instinctive skill where I can look at another person's username and instantly tell how fucking awful their comment's going to be. And this guy I knew was going to post a fucking shitstorm. His name is Theo, Offensive Atheist. Fuck me, eh? Oscar Wilde is here on YouTube, who knew it? The Offensive Atheist. Wow, you sound like a fascinating and interesting guy. So I know that you are an atheist, which means I know nothing about you that is of any relevance, and I know that you're offensive. So all I know about you is you're a cunt. That's brilliant. Let me tell you something about being offensive, right, Mister? Because you probably think you're a fucking renegade. Oh no, I'm offensive and I'm an atheist. Look out, everybody! An offensive atheist is coming. He might say something that'll hurt our feelings and destroy our world in two. No, being offensive, mate, and I know this because I'm quite good at it when I want to be. Being offensive is not something to be fucking proud of in itself. Being offensive and being funny and thought-provoking at the same time, that's a fucking skill, mate. That's something you can brag about. Walking around being offensive is the easiest and most fucking, idiotic and puerile and fucking infantile fucking mentality you can have. Because, and if you think that being offensive means anything, it doesn't. You don't see me going on stage at a comedy gig going, oh shit, bollocks, wank, tick, chinky, nigger, fucker, ticks, rape baby. You don't see me doing that, because it wouldn't be fucking, well, that was funny, or what, but, so let's look at the offensive atheist. I still can't stop laughing, God, I've nearly got an erection. Now, this is how he goes the comment, I'll break it down at last. First sentence, however you slice it, that is so subtly disgusting, right? A guy gets macheted to death, and you open with, however you slice it. That's the offensive atheist way. They killed in the name of their religion. Yes, I know. I said that in the video. But this is where my brain snapped. I mean, and I hulked up into like at least like that. Whatever use the right wing make of this, it can never be as bad as the murder of another human being. Huh? Wait, so these are the standards you have set for ethical behaviour amongst your fellow human beings? Is this the lofty heights of fucking morality that you can fucking reach to? Is this the best you can do? So because these two guys killed someone, and what you've got now is a load of fucking, fear-mongering demagogue vultures, hoping to pick it apart and use it to keep the hate train going. And you don't care about that. You're fine with that. It's all right because it's not as bad as what they did. So as long as they don't exceed the fucking brutality of the murderers, you're okay with it. What if they raped someone? Would that be okay? What if they went round and just sort of stabbed people in the legs? What if they threw a cripple at someone? What if they went round all the houses of all the people who were there and minced their hamsters in front of them and then rubbed them all over? What do they have to do for you to give a shit? You don't care that there is a fucking well-oiled, well-operated and very highly connected and effective right-wing propaganda hate machine operating in Britain, Europe and America, and has been for the last 5, 6, 7, 10 years. I've been documenting it. And you don't give a shit about that. You're more interested in the fact that the two guys they're talking about killed someone in the name of their religion, which we already know, and which we can currently do diddly fucking shit about. Because guess what? They've been arrested. They've already killed someone. What the fuck are we supposed to do? I mentioned in the video that there was a Muslim guy who was shot and killed in Edinburgh 2 days ago. This was his response. Was the Muslim shot in Scotland shot in the name of Christianity? Who gives a fucking flying pile of biscuit piss-flavoured Jesus shit? The guy was shot in the face and he's dead. Is that not enough for you? Do you only care about crimes that are murder when it's done in the name of God? Is it so if something's done in the name of God, hacking a guy to death, that's a real fucking problem for you? What if those two guys had hacked Lee Rigby to death and they'd gone, oh, you know what, well, we just did it for a laugh, mental like that. If someone shot your fucking family up and killed them, did you stop and think, well, what did they do this for? Did they do this in the name of God? Because I might just get upset about it. If they did it, in the protest against Jimmy Savile, what do you care? This is the sort of mentality I'm talking about that exists in so many atheists. Their narrow tunnel vision on everything's got to be about religion. And if it's not about religion, it fucking has, they don't care. You don't care that someone was killed unless he was killed in the name of Christianity. I personally don't think there is ever really any good reason to kill somebody in cold blood. Call me politically correct there, Mr. the Offensive Atheist. You then say, if it was done in the name of Christianity, it deserves as much condemnation. So, for you, someone getting hacked to death with two guys with a machete is less fucking important news than two guys who hack another guy to death with a machete forgot. How perverse are you? Right? Seriously, what happened in your life for you to become so fucking full of blind hatred for religion and to fucking want religion to be the focus on anything, and you're not interested in anything else? You're not interested in anything unless it's related to religion, because that's all you can deal with. Anything that doesn't involve religion, oh God, no, I've got to think of a different reason that doesn't involve God. Oh fuck. And now you've just admitted you are willing to ignore or lessen the value of someone who's been murdered, simply because the person who did it didn't do it in the name of God. What if they did it in the name of you? Would that be big news then? Kudos to the Muslims who came out publicly against the murder. However, when some wondered why they have to all the time. I wondered when the last time was that they had to. Right, here's the thing, mate. They had to do it every single fucking time a Muslim does anything so much as farts on public transport. People like you and everyone else, they demand that all these fucking... or every Muslim on planet Earth comes out and goes, yes, by the way, what that cunt did, we're not on board, right? It wouldn't be mine if you just had to do it once, but you do it endless times. Every time. Why? Why is your first instinct when something happens involving an insane Muslim to point at the people who did nothing, who had nothing to do with it, who were not involved, who had no clue, and say, why haven't you stood up and said anything about this? Because they weren't fucking involved. And it's not their responsibility. That's why the offensive atheist. Let me educate you on something. And this is something you need to fucking keep in mind. And otherwise, you will go through your life acting like this pompous, up his own arse prick who thinks he's got it all figured out because, hey, I know religion is bollocks, therefore I'm a fucking... I'm so clever. And no, you don't fucking... You say whatever the right wing uses. Now, let me tell you what the right wing uses, mate. They just use words. It's just words. It's a printed word. It's on social media. It's in the news. It's in their speeches. It's on their websites. It's just words. What harm could words do, surely? Is that what you're thinking? For a guy whose name's the offensive atheist, you should know how powerful words are. The Bible is just a load of words. The Quran's just a load of words. Islamic hate preachers simply use words, priests just use words. Osama bin Laden pretty much use words. Charles Manson, David Koresh, Stalin, Mao, Hitler. You want to name them off? Yeah, list off the old fucking names, yeah, blah, 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 Hitler. But let me tell you, I will give you an example that is relevant to this very issue, and why I happen to think that the exploitation of this guy's murder for the purposes of promoting this type of siege mentality and paranoid fear and let's get them, it's us versus them scenario is bad. And I'm just going to say two words. My regular viewers will have heard these words many times, and I have to bring it up because wobbly little fucking knobheads like you they never seem to remember this one. And it's funny because if you did, you might stop and think before you wrote a comment like that. Right, ready? Anders Breivik killed with a bomb and a gun 77 people, most of whom were young teenage kids. And he did it why? Because he had been sucked in and believed the fucking very words, the very same paranoid, fearful propaganda about Muslims as a monolithic, Borg-like, globalizing entity ready to take over the world, and he got so scared he went out and murdered a load of people. That's what those words that the right wing do to spin this. You're dismissing their words when their words have the power to make someone want to do something that we are gonna never fucking forget. But hey, Anders Breivik, of course, if only he'd killed in the name of God, maybe then you would have given a shit. Do you think that 77 people being killed by Anders Breivik is, not really his issue? And when Anders Breivik did that, and he wrote his manifesto, and he listed in it as influences the EDL, Gert Wilders, Pamela Keller, people, every single cunt I've been talking about, who you sit there and try and tell me that I'm focusing on the wrong thing. Lee Rigby's dead, I can't do anything. The two guys who did it are in prison. What I need to do, and what people need to do, is they need to stand up and start saying to everyone else who's getting their knickers in a twist and jumping around trying to stir up shit, they need to say, calm the fuck down, have a wank, a coke and a smile, and relax. Nothing gets solved by us getting scared even further, because that's what terrorists want. They want you to be scared of not just them but all Muslims. And if I've said it once, I've said it a million fucking times. You cannot stop terrorism unless you stop being terrified. Well, I'm not terrified of these people, but I am scared of what these people might get someone else to do. And you should be too. And for the last few years, as far as prominent users who can spread this information and get this word out and tell people about this, there's been virtually nobody else. There's been like a couple of other users, and I find that fucking disgusting. That this so-called rational and reasonable atheist that wants, secularism, and they don't care about this. And this is the most important thing. Not some fucking metal cross on a fucking building where a fucking 9/11 happened. Not the fact that, oh my god, Obama said, oh god, God, he's in the fucking... Shut up! Spain, just stop wasting your fucking time pretending that you have fucking problems. Right, well, there are real problems here. And this is a real problem. And I've spent the last 3 years doing everything I fucking can to get this through to people's heads. And what do I get? Oh, you're an Islamist sympathiser. Oh, you're a terrorist lover. Oh my God, you're just a secret Muslim. You're just a secret Muslim. Why don't you go and live in fucking Islam land then? That's what I get. And then I get dickheads like you, wankers like you, who probably post that and thought, oh yes, got him there. Right? No. Sit there and cry into your semi-flaccid dick, the offensive atheist. That's a fucking pathetic comment. It's a pathetic comment. It's a pathetic sentiment. And it must have been made by a pathetic person. If you think that's your mentality. But it's not just yours. It's everywhere. It's everywhere in this stinking fucking atheist community on here who laughably masquerade under the fucking guise of some sort of, attempt to bring rationality and reason to the world. And all they do is post shit like that. One guy posted a comment and goes, oh, has Islam made the world better then, has it, Coughlan? I don't fucking know or care. What should we do? Just have an experiment? Could you stop all being Islamic for a day? You fuckers are a joke. And it's okay that you're a joke for me. Because you won't get anywhere. As long as this is your mentality. Because you're the little guy. I know you get fucking carried away here. You don't the fucking theists who you think are all retarded and stupid and laugh at, they've got all the power and the money and the fucking stuff. So don't be surprised when they look at you and go, pfft. You should be doing something that actually helps atheists, right? And if I look at a situation in the world where there is a situation where a person is being, or a group are being, targeted, singled out and scapegoated, I ask myself a question. I don't say, what would an atheist do? I don't ask what would a liberal do or a socialist do. I say, what would a good person who wanted to do the right thing do? I don't sit there and go, well, this guy's a Muslim and I'm an atheist, so therefore, fuck him. Yeah, that's a great way to promote atheism and promote atheism, make us look good by saying fuck you to anyone, refusing to help anyone, rather than actually being as the actual good-natured, lovely, hey everybody, love thy fellow man people we should be. That's what we should be doing. You're the guy who will look at this situation like you have with these groups targeting Muslims and and spreading this shit, and you look at it and you go, well, they're Muslims, fuck them. Oh yeah, they were doing this to Jews, you'd fucking set up probably. They were doing it to black people or gay people, disabled people. Then you might fucking go, well, that's fucking wrong. Wait, no, it's because them. And you've decided that Muslims are fair game when it comes to this kind of thing. Well, I haven't. It's wrong. And I hope you don't have to fucking put up with it. And if you did end up in this situation, I assure you, I will be happy to speak out. Right? But I will be telling you to go fuck yourself once I'm done. So, I would like to say thank you for listening. If you've made it to the end of this video, you've probably, got here, but purely because you actually agreed with what I was saying. And I have one thing to say to you people. You special people, and it's same for this, it's the last time ever. Thank you. May God be less. And to the people who don't like me, and who are sat there boiling with rage, filled up with loads of things they want to say and shout at me, loads of feedback and ideas and opinions of me, right, before you type them, I would like to give you the response I will give to everything you say. So cunting well, bastarding fucking what? Swivel on that. And please, this atheist has got his own movement over there, away from you. Please stop putting me in your group. I don't want me to be dragged down to your level. I've done so much on here in the last 5 years, I think I deserve to be treated as a person who is a little bit more than a non-belief in God. If you don't like that, goodbye. Forgive me, Father. I know not what I do.